Hello, hackers. Welcome back. Sorry it took me a few days. Got busy, but we're back here with another video. And you can see I have my Metasploitable 2 running here. So I'm just going to log into my Kali here. And what we're going to do today, in this video, we're going to manually exploit a known vulnerability in vsftpd version 2.3.4, which is running on our Metasploitable 2 machine. So instead of using Metasploit like in the last video, we're just going to write a simple Python script to trigger the backdoor and connect to the resulting shell. So I have the um, I have the where's my here somewhere. I've got my there it is. I've got my FTP backdoor script here. So first, let me run the script and then I'll explain what it's doing. I'm just going to close this for a minute and make my terminal a little bigger. And so first, let's just run a quick nmap scan on port 21 on our target to make sure that we can match. And you can see here we've got the vsftpd 2.3.4 and the port 21 is open. Okay. And this version has a known vulnerability which contains a backdoor. Okay. So the vulnerability you can see here, I've got it. I'll put the link in the description. There's a CVE where there's this version contains a backdoor which opens a shell on port 6200. So we're going to exploit that now. So the malicious backdoor is triggered when you log in with a username containing a smiley face. And when this is done, the server quietly opens up a shell on port 6200. So I'm just going to go ahead and run the shell here. And you can see that we've got the backdoor shell is connected. And we can go ahead and run some commands here. You can see that we are root. And once we run the script, it connects to the FTP service. It sends the backdoor trigger and then connects to port 6200. And we get a limited shell, right? So we could check exploitable 2. So this is a very quick and simple but real world example how we can use services that can be exploited and why version detection during our recon is so important. So you can see that we exploited using Python. No Metasploit was needed. And in the next video, we're going to explore some other services. But I'm just going to quickly explain um, what the vsftpd 2.3.4 is. Let me just close this shell here. Get rid of this. So hopefully you can see this here. Let me see if I can make it a little bigger. So VSFTP stands for, VSFTPD stands for Very Secure FTP Daemon, but version 2.3.4 was backdoored by a malicious attacker and accidentally distributed. So when the username contains a happy face, it triggers a hidden routine that causes the server to spawn a shell on TCP port 6200. Okay, so no authentication is required, and just triggering the malform login opens the shell. Okay, so we basically have we import the socket module to communicate over TCP, and we use time to pause briefly between our steps. Um, we set our target and ports, so we have our target IP and our ports. You could also modify this script to prompt the user for the actual IP if you wanted to, so that the script currently it assumes that FTP is running on Metasploitable 2 at this IP address, and it's the default port, and it's going to open this particular this backdoor is going to open shell on this port when it's executed. So then we're going to trigger the backdoor, which this establishes a connection to the FTP service, reads the prints the banner, um, and then it sends the user command with the happy face, which triggers the backdoor, and sends a dummy password, and then it closes the connection, and the damage is already done because now the backdoor has been triggered, and we've sent the smiley face to trigger the backdoor, which causes the FTPD to open a shell on port 6200. And then from there, we connect to the shell on 6200 here. And if the backdoor works, we get the shell and it tells us that we're connected. Okay. So it provides an interactive loop to send shell commands, sends input to the server, it sends a response, and prints it. Um, Now, if it doesn't work, we get an error, and basically we have the main execution. First, we trigger the backdoor, and then we wait a couple seconds to let it spawn, and then finally we connect to our new shell. Okay, so on vsftpd 2.3.4, it receives the login with the happy face and the username, and a hidden thread spawns on with a shell on TCP port 6200, and then this shell runs as the user nobody. But since the service is running as root, the attacker connects as root on port 6200. So the script is a manual demonstration of the real world CVE 2011-2523, and we didn't need any exploitation frameworks, and it shows how even a basic version info can reveal dangerous backdoors in outdated software. So that's it for this video. We're right around our 8-minute mark. I hope you like this video. I've put this backdoor script on my GitHub, and I'll put it in the description. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.